All right, good morning. Good morning again. My name is Bryan Roller. I'm a business assistant specialist with the Texas Economic Development and Tourism Office inside the Office of the Governor. I will be your MC today. We will get started here as people find in their seats. So I'm going to play a little brief video and then we'll get started.
If I could get right.
It is my privilege to welcome you to our Small Business Summit. There are so many entrepreneurially-minded individuals, folks who had a vision to create something of their own, who dug deep, made sacrifices, not only are reaping the rewards of their labor, but also able to give back in a major way.
Awesome. I need this tease that now.
All right, well, thank you all so much for being here, and thank you for finding your way around the construction this morning. We appreciate that, you guys being here. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get this program underway. Fortunately, you don't have to listen to me all day. Just here this morning as I do introductions, which is to your benefit. So at this time, it's my pleasure to introduce one of the driving forces behind today's event here in Buffalo. A retired school administrator of the Texas Education Agency, Mike Anderson is still an educator at heart. As executive director of the Buffalo Economic Development and Tourism Corporation, he has turned his energy to supporting businesses and entrepreneurs in his community and building strong regional networks so that they can grow. He is also the owner and operator of Senior Co-Housing Facility in Leon County and president and CEO of the Anderson Group, a real estate management and property development company. Mike holds a doctoral of philosophy, a Master of Arts in Contemporary Sociology, a Master of Education in Instructional Leadership, and a bachelor's degree in Urban Sociology. Please help me welcome Mike Anderson to the podium.
Good morning. Just like a good school student, I wasn't paying attention and I heard my name. I'm not going to adjust this because there's going to be a lot of short people come up here later on, so just got to leave it just like that. I noticed when Bryan came up that there were a lot of people still talking, and being a old school administrator, some of you all are on your way to ISS suspension because you were talking when you're not supposed to. Thank you for coming. On behalf of Buffalo and the whole Leon County citizenship, we're delighted to see you all come to this event and to have the interest that we would hope you would have in getting the information and the knowledge and hopefully bags of money before you leave. We're excited to be able to do that. It's been our goal over the last 5 years or so to have an impact economically on Buffalo and on the our surrounding areas, our sister cities. And this is another attempt at that. Before I forget, I want to make sure I thank the Office of the Governor. These folks have done a tremendous job going around the state hosting these type events. When we put in an application to host it, it was kind of tongue-in-cheek. I kind of knew they would say Buffalo, and they wouldn't do it, and so I didn't tell anybody that I applied. And so when we got the call that they were actually going to come to Buffalo, Texas, it delighted us to have that kind of state representation and state interest in little old Buffalo. And so we're very thankful. We're thankful. They told us yesterday that we are the smallest city that they've done this type of thing in, and so we're even prouder of that we can represent the small cities. So thank you, Bryan, and all you guys. I don't want to start naming names because I'm going to forget somebody. And so I didn't hear you introduce the bigwigs from the state. Did you do that, or was I just talking too? You're going to do that later. Okay, good deal. So I'm not going to attempt to do that. But I will draw your attention to Judge Ryder over here. Judge Ryder is the county judge, which he's the highest ranking official in the county. And I can call Judge Ryder night or day, and he's all in the small business. So Judge Ryder, thank you for coming. And 5 years ago, when I retired and took this job, which is supposed to be a retirement job, but that turned out to be a trick. We were getting a new mayor at the same time. A young man came in, and he and I talked, and we had the same vision and the same ideas about Buffalo. And things have really been happening in Buffalo as a result of this young man's progressiveness. And so we have the mayor of Buffalo with us today, Jared Jones. There's a whole lot of more important people, but you didn't come to do that. But I would be remiss if I didn't do this. Debbie, walk this way, would you? And Beatrice and Sarah, quickly. I only got 10 more seconds. Start walking this way. You don't have to come all the way. These three ladies are responsible for much of what you see today. They're responsible for all of the details that it takes to put something like this together. These are the ladies that work with me in my office. They work me over as well. But I'd like, if you would, to just stop for a moment and show them a little appreciation, because I certainly appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so finally, our goal today is to bring the mountain to Muhammad. The folks back there, those service providers, have brought a lot of information. And as I have traveled since I've been doing this job, I realize there are so many resources, so much information that never makes it to this area of our region. And so the goal today is for you to have access to that. You don't have to go get it. We've brought it to you via the governor's office. And so please don't miss out on this opportunity. Talk to each one of these service providers. Me and my staff will be available as well. As I pointed out, the mayor's available, the chamber's here. We'll do whatever we can to help you. If you want to start a business, you're expanding your business, or you want to bring a new business to this or somewhere in this area. So once again, thank you all for coming. We appreciate you being here.
Mike, again, thank you for you and your staff, everything that y'all have done to help us. Another one of our key partners is the Texas Workforce Commission. They help us fund these 15 small business summits around the state to bring this information to you. And today we have Joe Esparza, who currently serves as the commissioner representing employers for the Texas Workforce Commission, here today with us. In his role, Commissioner Esparza serves as an advocate for over 660,000 Texas employers and over 3 million small businesses. He and his team serve as a key resource for all of Texas employers to help businesses grow and thrive in Texas. Prior to his appointment, Commissioner Esparza served as the Texas Deputy Secretary of State in 2018, having previously served in other roles in Governor Abbott's administration since 2012. He is a graduate of Texas Tech University and received an honorable discharge from the United States Marine Corps, serving from 1999 to 2007. Please help me to welcome Commissioner Joe Esparza.
I can hear my footsteps up here. Mike, you hear that? Good morning, everybody. Thank y'all. I didn't realize this was the majority, the smallest town representing one of these summits, but it has the attendance is definitely just out of this world. So congratulations, and thank y'all for all the hard work, Mike, and everybody for putting this together. County Judge and Mayor, thank y'all for being here. Great atmosphere. We always enjoy these, coming into these rooms. There's always buzzing, always friends seeing each other, and the networking. So it's a great opportunity, and so glad that you were able to take your day out of your busy schedule to come here and learn. What we always say, and I've been to many of these over the state of Texas, but also we provide our office at the Texas Workforce Commission, in the employer's offices where I sit. We provide resources that I'm excited to tell you about. But again, we always stress that this is resources that you just have to get out there and learn about, just like Mike did. You just apply for it, and you have that awareness that if something comes up later, you know exactly who to turn to, who to call, who to pester, be a squeaky wheel, and that just saves you a lot of heartache moving down the road. So all the resources are out, and available to you. We want to make sure that these programs are continued to be able to fund these resources. Good programs continue to get good money. In our world, we get both state and federal dollars that come, and we funnel them into the local communities as a resource to use. So always support, obviously, your local legislative representatives and your local elected officials. Continue to support all the right decisions that brings expanding economy. The state of Texas, obviously, we're in a great place. Unemployment is right at 4%, just a little bit under the national level, and it's a great time to be expanding. It's a great time to be moving businesses, and we're going to continue to see that growth and more people coming into the state of Texas that want to bring their business because of those low regulatory and basically because of the care and customer services that they get through the small business community and the network. That is absolutely the spine of the overall economy in the state of Texas. So we need to keep that driving. Again, as Bryan said, my name is Joe Esparza. I represent employers on the 3-member commission that oversees, in this case, grants and opportunities for expansion and industry training, but also more with stuff that I'm going to talk to you about today. Our employer office provides a wonderful resource to you, and I always think this is probably more so with small businesses. We provide a resource that helps with kind of the onboarding, the human resource type of function of your business. Not every small business, most of the small business don't have a human research, an HR department dedicated to taking care of this. So it's pretty much just taken care of, and then you go on about your business and running business. So we provide the resource of being a guidance, providing guidance on state and federal not elections, excuse me, that was another job I used to have, employment law. So employment law, you can get very high in the weeds really fast. We provide a resource with the attorneys that we have on staff in our office, as just as much customer service as we can provide in a few different ways. For one thing, we hold, and I always strongly encourage you to look up for this. We just hosted our last one of the year, but we're going to start back up in January. This is the Texas Conference for Employers. Now, this is a full day. In some cases, in a larger metropolitan area, we do 2 days of in-depth education. So the Texas Conference for Employers is basically a full day of conference talking about employment law and the pitfalls that you as employers could fall into, given different scenarios of either onboarding benefits or offboarding your workforce. This obviously helps you avoid a further tax burden by having to pay into unemployment insurance cases when it comes down to these things. So we provide a lot of topics that cover, a lot of logical stuff, but how to treat your workforce, how to better care for them, how to be, kind of incentivize them for benefits, everything that you really need to know, you have at your fingertips. So the conference is always there. We also basically man a hotline, and all this information is going to be with. I think we dropped off some over with Tabitha way in the back of the VR corner. We've got a couple of brochures here that gives you this information. It's going to have that hotline number. We also provide a newsletter that just kind of reminds you of topics that are kind of we get a lot of questions on the same thing for some reason in the state of Texas that issue's popping up. So we want to address that and provide you that information at will. But also these hiring initiatives that we support basically really kind of revolve around getting employers connected to workforce, getting them connected to the training partners, the community colleges out in the world. We worked very closely with your local workforce solution board. They are the ones that are the They always say it's not the unemployment office, it is the absolute employment office. Folks that are looking for a job, employers that are looking to expand, will be able to work with them and get on the front end of knowing when those hiring career fairs are going to start. And if you need some, your business is expanding to it doesn't have to be one dedicated day for career expansion for these types of events. There's things can be tailored to help you find those particular resources that we have. Overall, the agency has a very big program, our divorce portfolio of programs and services to support those types of expansions and job training. And this comes in the form of grants. So we kind of oversee all the grants that the federal government and the state allocate to work through here. One big one is the Jobs and Education for Texas grant. Employers will partner with a training provider. Like I said, right now, hot jobs, manufacturing, healthcare, line workers, our grid is continuing to expand. Our electrical line workers, all the training that we go into that, fabrication. Obviously, these are the kind of the jack of all trades stuff that can be applied to pretty much any industry to continue to keep our economy moving is what's needed. So we provide these grants in an effort to expand or update, your local ISD to get them better equipment so that they're actually, the students are actually training and learning on the equipment that's out there in the industry at the time. So Jobs and Education for Texas grant is one specific one. For small businesses, we have one that's called Skills for Small Business, appropriately named, right? This is for businesses with fewer than 100 employees, but it basically provides business and management training to your workforce. Anybody with less than 100 employees, say you've hired up to, in the past 6 months, you've hired up to 12 to 15 people to come on to do, finance or, again, administrations. There's a grant that you can able to partner with a local community college. Basically gives you the ability to open up that course catalog book and get your employees out there to train, and just kind of helps make the process of doing business just a little bit easier and makes your workforce just that much more valuable. So Skills for Small Businesses. And then we also provide some grants to help recruit workforce. So all these groups, and again, like I said, this is the resource that it's not my money. It's definitely your money. It's our money when it comes to the taxes you pay into. I always kind of say this is like the next best thing to getting a tax refund is basically we want to help you avoid those tax burdens and be able to get you access to that resource that's always there for you. So questions that you have about like I said, any HR questions that you're not quite sure, we provide a guidebook. Literally one of our attorneys, he's been there for 40 years, knows everything there is to know, literally wrote the book, and this is his guidebook. This is available. There's a PDF. You can download it, or we can send it to you, drop one off to you if we need to. This is an absolute great resource to have at your disposal. It provides just literally verbatim, fill in the blank, letters and just documentation of what, basically text and verbiage that was wrote by our attorney. So that hotfully saves you any kind of cost to type that up. So just use that as much as possible. If you have any questions, again, we've got a hotline that we answer pretty much all during the hours of working days. Leave a message, send us an email. Our attorneys are great. They're wonderful. I've sat with them on a lot of these conversations to overhear what problems employers are having and how it's explained. Even I can understand what they're talking about. But usually at the end of the conversation, the employers have such a good and faithful notice of how we provide this service, and they're always so thankful, and we're definitely thankful that we have that as a resource to provide to you. So, but again, we greatly appreciate it. Please make sure that you take a look at these pamphlets that we're going to leave back there at that table, and use it as much as possible. And if you have any questions, again, give us a call. We're always available to help. So, thanks a lot. Bye.
Thank you.
All right. It's my honor to introduce our new Deputy Executive Director at the Texas Economic Development and Tourism Office within the Office of the Governor. Though new to the position, Terry is not new to the office, having previously served as the Director of Economic Development Finance Division, overseeing the three main areas of financial incentive programs, loans, grants, and tax rebates. As Deputy Executive Director, Zrubek supports Executive Director Adriana Cruz in overseeing multiple divisions, including business and community development, economic development finance, tourism, Texas Workforce Investment Council, Texas Music Office, and the Texas Film Commission. Zrubek has a degree in economics from Texas State University, a Master of Business Administration from St. Edward's University, with a concentration in corporate finance, and has completed the Governor's Executive Development Program at the University of Texas Austin's LBJ School of Public Affairs. Please help me welcome Mr. Terry Zrubek.
Well, thank you. It's by no accident that I chose to come to Buffalo today. Your superintendent, Mr. Ivy, I needed to try and settle up something with him this morning. We got that figured out, and I think he may have already left. But Mr. Ivy came from a hometown that my kids go to in Thorndale, Texas, and I needed to ask him. I was like, we were only there for 1 year. Was it you're coming to Buffalo for the opportunity, or were you leaving to get away from my kids? So he clarified it, and what I've seen, he left for a great opportunity here in Buffalo. I mean, what a wonderful community you guys have. I got a chance to talk to Mayor Jones in length. He taught me all about birds. Thank you for that. It was very eye-opening, just the small business. The gentleman that runs the coffee shop, he not only runs a coffee shop, he runs a gym. I think he also said he's a pastor as well. So all of you small business owners out here, you juggle a lot of different things. It's different from what these large corporations do. I've had that opportunity to work for a Fortune 500 company, but I've also had an opportunity to work for that small business. I worked in a small fabrication shop during college, and I'd say that it was most rewarding seeing how just a small atmosphere and how everyone had we'll go to the sixth, the military term. And thank you to our military people. I know that we'll be doing something next month, right, Jarvis, on that? But first and foremost, our military and our veterans, none of this would be possible for us to go out and try these endeavors. That you all risk your capital, risk countless hours trying to put out there and make your business successful. I don't want to be that person that comes up and says, I'm here from the government, I'm here to help. That's the last thing you want to hear, especially in this time of age. But we truly do, Jarvis and his team, we do want to help. We want to help you connect those dots. I had the opportunity to work in the private sector. You guys have the opportunity in that you're not that big giant. You can, oh God, I don't want to use this word from 2020, pivot, right? We all heard that word pivot, but you can adjust quickly. You can specialize. You don't have that overhead that those companies do to adjust to your customer base. But it doesn't come without heartache. I know that I have friends that have their own small businesses. You're trying to do payroll. You're trying to do HR. You're trying to do sales. You're trying to do marketing. You're trying to do logistics. It's all very hard. And the last thing you guys need is you need government getting in your way. Jarvis was back there with Mayor. We were showing him our business permits guide. Don't blame me, but there is no reason why that business permits guide should be over 50 pages. Government should not have that much much of that hand, but we're here to help you navigate that process. Here in a second, we'll hear a quick short video from Governor Greg Abbott for this event. But back to what Bryan was saying, I now oversee with Adriana Cruz 7 different divisions in Economic Development and Tourism Office. We are in the Office of the Governor, and Jarvis's team does a wonderful job with these. 15 that we'll see this year. I had to come out to a small community. This is my hometown roots. I'm originally from Taylor, Texas. Many of you may know what's going on in that town. It's been completely turned upside down. There's a huge fab facility going on out there. Be careful what you ask for, folks. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful opportunity, but it is not coming without growing pains for that community. So make sure I'm a duck, right? Make sure you got your ducks in a row, all right, when you do work to bring these things. But it is definitely a magnet, and it helps the small businesses for your community. So, Bryan, if you'll cue that video up for me, I'd really appreciate it. And thank you all. I'll be here for a while, and then I got to head back to Austin. We're in the Senate Finance Committee this morning. So thank y'all.
Hi, this is Governor Greg Abbott. Welcome to the Governor's Small Business Summit. And thank everybody for being part of this exciting event. The more than 3 million small businesses in our great state are the backbone of the great Texas economy. Thanks to small businesses, Texas leads the nation in economic expansion. And we are the #1 state for job creation in 2023. Texas is also a top state for women, minority, and veteran-owned businesses. And we lead the nation in small business growth. Men and women willing to take a risk, dig deep into their own pockets, and stake their future on an idea have long written the story of Texas. That pioneering spirit still fuels our shared prosperity today. Together, we are all building a bigger, better Texas for the next generation. May God bless you all, and may God forever bless the great state of Texas.
And will help if I turn it on. Thank you very much for being here today. Definitely appreciate you joining us here. Before we go any further too, I do want to, again, thank the Buffalo Economic Development and Tourism Corporation and their staff. Very much appreciated. You did a lot of hard work in helping us put this together. Also appreciate the support of the city of Buffalo. Thank you very much for that. I know my name has been mentioned several times, and I'm just a small piece of the cog. So if I could introduce the rest of our staff here that have really done a lot of the hard work. Sandra Sanchez back here in the back, could you please stand? David Menchaca Garcia. And our state small business advocate, Jarvis Brewer. Without, again, we have a 4-man team that covers the entire state of Texas. So as you can imagine, we stay busy, but we love what we do. We're passionate about what we do. And so we enjoy being here in these communities and sharing this information. Also, I'd be remiss if I did not point out the resource providers that travel from around the state to be here with us. They're in the back. Please take advantage of meeting with them. May I have the resource providers stand? Thank you very much for being here. Again, we bring them with us because you guys, don't have the time. As a small business owner, we appreciate you being here for a half a day because we know it's tough for you to break away from your small business just for a half a day. But to make it to Austin to talk to them would be almost impossible. So that's one of the reasons why we do this, and we're appreciative of them joining us. Let me do this. Let me kind of give you an overview of what today is going to kind of look like here. All of our informational panels, of course, will happen right here in the room. We'll start off with access to finance and funding. That panel is moderated by Kim McLaren with the Sam Houston State University. I'm sorry, that's tough for me to say that being an SFA alum. So But with the Small Business Development Center, starting at 9:55. Thank you, Kim, for being here. Followed by a discussion on the regional resource providers, moderated by Matt Winchester with Encore at 11:05. After our first two panels, we'll take a break for lunch, followed by a keynote presentation by KCEN 6 news anchor Lindsay Lippman. Thank you, Lindsay, for being here. We'll follow that with another networking break before kicking off our final panel at 11:15, delving into a discussion on small business and EDCs, What's in it for me? Moderated by Bobby Fishback, the owner of Davis Country Store. Again, between each of these sessions, we strongly encourage you to visit with the various state, regional, and local agencies and service providers in the back. Also, while you're here during the day, we have free professional headshots back in the back corner. You know, every business owner today in this digital economy needs one. We know that you can't always take the time away from your business to go have a headshot or pay for it. So please take advantage of that. Back there in the back corner, the restrooms and exits, as you can see, small facility, but good to point them out in case the fire marshal's here. You know, he likes us to point those things out. And then a special emphasis, also following this event, a survey will go out so you can provide your feedback about the event and help us shape events in the future. Again, one of the reasons why we partner with our locals, because we ask them what's important for small business in these communities. We don't want to do cookie cutter events. We want to make sure that when we bring in information, it's information that you need here in your community, and then we'll work closely with those partners to put speakers on here that'll really help you guys. So again, thank you to the Buffalo Economic Development Corporation. We really appreciate here. I did notice someone that came in that I've missed. Janie Havel is your regional representative. I believe, Janie, that's a new change. Is that correct? So she is a wealth of information for our small businesses, for our EDCs, for our city officials. She is now representing Buffalo and Leon County. So if you get a chance, meet with her. So we're going to take a break now to about 9:55 so that you can meet with the regional representatives. Again, thank you for being here, and we look forward to meeting each one of you. Thank you.